So we're talking about where Jayden Daniels fits in the NFC landscape. Let me just point out a couple things that would go in Jayden's favor. I just saw this via PFF.
Mm-hmm.
The highest graded quarterback in the NFL in the 2-minute drill, J85, a 91 grade from PFF in the 2-minute drill. He's excelled, obviously, late in games.
Yep.
He has, I think, 4 touchdowns late in fourth quarters. Now, one was a Hail Mary. One was kind of a Hail Mary, the one to Terry in the Dallas game.
Dallas, right.
And then they missed the extra point.
Right. You brought up Jalen Hurts in the commercial break.
Yes, I actually put up a Scotty's Vodka poll of the day. Scotty's Vodka, Maryland made, super smooth, love throughout the DMV. And here's the thing. You can only fit so many characters in a poll. So I just have their passing numbers. But who's the best quarterback in the NFC right now? JD5's got 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's just passing.
Mm-hmm.
He also has the 6 rushing. Goff's at 33-10. Baker, 34-15. And then I do think you got to throw Jalen Hurts in there.
Of course.
18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but he has a ton rushing.
Doesn't he have 14? Does he have 14 rushing touchdowns?
Let me double check. That sounds right.
Here's the other thing about that. I mean, can you imagine if Jayden Daniels had, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley and that offensive line? Like if you flip-flopped Jayden and put him with the Eagles and you put Jalen Hurts here, I don't think Hurts is putting up as many numbers as Jayden is here. That's just my opinion. Now, he's great inside the 1-yard line because of the tush push, but I'm not sure you could take advantage of that here with the offensive line like you can with Philadelphia because their offensive line is so much better. And then you got Barkley. I mean, Barkley takes a lot of pressure off Hurts throwing the ball. So
Hurts does have the 14 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a ton.
A total of 32 total touchdowns compared to Jayden Daniels, who has 28 total touchdowns.
Yep.
So, these other guys do have more touchdowns overall when you put passing and rushing, but he's definitely in the conversation. Let's go to our pal Mo in Largo. Mo, Merry Christmas. What's going on?
Merry Christmas, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call.
Mo, what's up?
Before we get started, Jason.
Yeah.
The fact that you are still using scissors in 24 is diabolical, my man. I mean, that's crazy, brother.
I never had a Manscaped tool, and I could get $75 for it. I said, sweetheart, go sell it. I'll just keep using the scissors.
Can't you imagine him like taking his fingers like he's a stylist and like clipping off the top?
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, it's hurt.
Pickles talked about it. He does the hack method too.
Yeah.
That is so hurting. But as far as the topic at hand, I definitely have Jayden top of the list. I mean, you made a great point there with production based upon talent around him. If you flip-flop him and Jalen, you're exactly right. I don't believe the production is the same. And if you go around to the other teams within the NFC, look at the talent around these. I mean, they have all-pro wide receivers. I mean, legitimate 1,000-yard rushers. I mean, offensive lines that are stacked, bully clubs. I mean, it's not even close. So, and if you look at, and not to mention, like you said, we won 4 games last year, and now we're at 10 and still moving forward. So, I mean, there isn't a quarterback that's more mobile. The accuracy is off the charts, and just his ability to have his players around him gravitate towards him, man. I mean, it's hard to place anyone above him. Thank you for taking my call, gentlemen, and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
You
Mo.
too, Mo.
Yeah, I do believe that's a factor. The fact that he's got McLaurin, and McLaurin's having a great year, but he's got a bunch of other bit players at receiver and tight end. If you put him on some of these other teams, his numbers would be drastically different. He might not have to run as much because he'd have so many more weapons, either running the ball. I mean, look, Hurts has Saquon Barkley, who might break the NFL rushing record. I mean, he might break Eric Dickerson's record. He only needs 270 yards. I mean, he could do that in 2 weeks. But you can't overlook, other quarterbacks with some of these other teams. But it's a good argument. It's a good argument.
What's amazing about his rookie season right now is, if we're just talking passing, because we know he's an unbelievable runner.
Right.
That 4th and 11 run, he's got nothing downfield, makes something happen, gets the first down, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just passing numbers, first of all, he's completing 69.7% of his passes.
Yep.
So he's at a ridiculous clip completing the ball. That is 5th in the league.
Yep.
All right. And actually, it's higher than that because somehow Tommy DeVito's in this mix. So toss him out.
No, but you got to throw in the guys who
You've
played
got
regularly.
Tua, Jared Goff, Baker have higher completion percentages.
Yeah.
But he's top 4 there. All right. Touchdowns. We're just talking passing. He's 10th. But he's taking care of the ball with the interceptions. Like I said, Baker's got 15 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you say he's thrown the ball 100 more times.
Yep.
That's fair.
That's a factor.
And he's got 34 touchdown passes. But he has those things where in QBR, he's top 5. In rating, he's top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw in the running. That's what you have with Jayden Daniels.
Agreed.
That's why that 4th down percentage is so good. The 3rd down percentage is so good. It's the Jayden factor.
And he's more elusive. Like you said, he's more elusive than any of those other quarterbacks. He's more elusive than Hurts. Hurts is a different type of runner because he's stronger down low. He's got those thick-ass legs. That's why they do the push. But he's not the overall elusive runner that
No,
Daniels
he's a power guy.
Yeah, right.
Let's go to Daniel in Annapolis. Daniel, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. First time, long time.
Merry Christmas, Daniel. What's up?
So I put him in number 2, and a couple of really quick reasons. Some of it reminds you of RG3, and it's like he's got the best of RG3 without the worst. He doesn't have deer in headlights. He's absolutely clutch. When he gets the ball, you almost feel like he's going to win it. But he walked into the season what was thought of as a terrible O-line.
Mm-hmm.
He's got one receiver in Zacchaeus who's been cut by 4 other teams. You look at Baker. He only had 4,000 yards for the first time last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a runner. But I put him in number 2 behind Goff. One, don't want to forget that Jordan Love's playing pretty well. You don't want to take him off the list.
True.
Hurts has the best O-line, the best running back, and 2 arguably, 1 or 1A receivers. But Jayden just lifts the team, and he does it in a calm way. He's got all the RG3 flash, but he does it in a way where it's not athleticism, it's quarterbacking. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, here's a radio insider.
Yeah.
If you do a poll on X, you can only put 4 people there. So that's why Jordan Love's not in there. We threw Hurts in there. And Baker and Goff this year have really gaudy touchdown numbers. I mean, Goff is 2nd in the league. He's 4th in the league in touchdowns. Burrow's 1 at 39. Lamar's got 37. And so then it's Baker 3 with 34, and then Goff with 33.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, if you flip-flopped situations, I mean, you want to talk about a loaded deck. The Lions are loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned Amon-Ra, 2 really good running backs, good tight end. Got Ben Johnson as your offensive coordinator. Now, Cliff Kingsbury is making a case for himself that he's a great offensive coordinator as well. But all those teams have much better talent.
True. You could argue, though, JP, that it's harder if you're not as athletic as Daniels. It's harder to drop back that many times and actually throw the ball down the field against coverages and score that many touchdowns, as opposed to when Daniels doesn't see a guy and the pocket breaks down, he can just scoot left, right, and get 12, 15, 20 yards. So it's a little bit more difficult for guys like Goff and Mayfield and Love who aren't runners, as opposed to Daniels who can do that. Look, it's another weapon because he was born with it. He was born with that athleticism. The other thing about Love is he has done a really good job of avoiding sacks. I think he's only been sacked 11 times. Daniels has been sacked 38 times. Now, a lot of that goes to the offensive line, but Jordan Love has also been very good at getting rid of the ball when he's under pressure. So I think you have to factor that in, too.
800-636-1067 if you're going to chime in. We're the Junkies, coming right back.